From our friends at Enterprise Bank and Trust. Philanthropy is obviously important to your family. Can you describe its relative importance as a corporate branding strategy and as a means of perpetuating family values with future generations?
You know, Dad was really a forward-thinking guy, because in 1982, companies just weren't sitting down and saying, we need to give back to the communities where we are, let's start a foundation. It just didn't happen. So it was wonderful of him to have that thought and start the foundation. I think we put $5 million in it in 1982 to start it, and you know, I can remember I was on the board in the beginning, and the requests, you know, we might have 25 requests and knew nothing about any of the organizations or anything else. You know, it was just sort of, what did we feel like on that day? So it's grown tremendously, and then Dad once again had the foresight to start the Crawford Taylor Foundation, which was to be Dad and the granddaughters. And his point in doing this was because he wanted to spend more time with the girls, so it gave him an opportunity to be with them, but he also wanted to get them thinking about philanthropy and the community and what can we do, and we have an obligation. And so that has been a really great experience, and he loves it, and to spend the time with the girls and talk about things, and he puts them on the spot. You know, we've even done things like, you know, you each have X amount of dollars, and we expect you to give that away in our next meeting. And then they had to go out into the community and see what they were interested in, where they wanted that money to go, and then they had to come back and present. It's very important to the company. It's all about sustainability. It's all about, you know, working in the communities where you are. I think philanthropy has become hugely important to the company and certainly important to the family.
If I could just add a little bit to that, I'll stand up again here. When you create, and that's a great answer. In addition, when you become the largest owner of vehicles in the world, I think we are, you also are regarded by some people in a little different light. And so when it comes to sustainability or carbon emissions and all that, it's better that you create a plan than to have somebody come in and give you a plan. So part of this 50 million tree thing, and Joanne and all of that, you know, she totally understands that that has to be part of our brand, I think, as the question was phrased. So we are engaged with the Danforth Plant Science Center to come up with alternative fuels from stuff that you don't eat. That we are engaged in electric cars. We now have over 500 electric cars, none in St. Louis right now, but in those cities where the Department of Energy is putting infrastructure in for charging, we have some green branches where we will have cars that are either electric or hybrid or plug-in hybrid. And so we need to be associated with trying to make not only our communities better, but the globe better in our very small way. And so I did miss saying one thing when I talked about the balance, you know, the customer service, employee growth, and bottom line. We do those four things, very simple. We do those four things in the context of our founding values. And that's where those are the things are the philanthropy, government relations, community relations, diversity, all that kind of stuff. We spend a lot of time doing that. I never thought we'd ever have to address those kinds of issues. I'm a used car salesman and a guy who rents cars. Well, there's this whole other dimension of things that need to be addressed, and so it's great to be looked upon as a giving company, and the employees, that's another aspect of it. You want your employees to feel, particularly the millennials, I tell my, sorry to skip around here, but I tell my nieces and my kids, you are Generation X kids. You are just so damn selfish. It's all about the money. He said the millennials now are more interested in, they want to work for a company that they're proud of. They want to know that the company's engaged in things that are important, not just for the business. They want to have more information. So all this kind of fits together when you talk about sustainability, you talk about philanthropy. It's all part of the brand, if you will.